there, today I'm going to show you how to do sort of a rough sun exposure analysis at an urban scale using 3ds Max. So I'll do this in 3 parts. The first I'll show you how you can set up the suns. It's a pretty simple process. And then we'll look at how you can set up the exposure control so you can render out images based on light exposure, and then I'll also show you how to set up cameras so you can have a set view you can render from, so then you can test out different scenarios and have the same dimensions and images to compare and contrast. Okay, so to create our sun, we go to the Create tab and then to the Systems tab, and then we select Daylight. We then click where the target we want to be is, so I'm just using the centre of the city, and then you'd sort of just drag it out to a point. The important thing is that we're using the date, time and location parameters, so it'll automatically figure out exposure based on a simulated location. So just to get location, we're looking at Melbourne. Well, this site here is Footscray, an area that's pegged for sort of densification and development, and this is a proposed kind of structural maximum building height that's been proposed in one of the locations in Footscray. So we've got Melbourne, and we're going to simulate cumulative sun exposure at the spring equinox, because this is a fairly useful time of year, and it's used a lot and referenced in planning documents. So I'll just change it to 2014 spring equinox, and it's not quite daylight savings time at that point in time. I know that the sunlight hours, in terms of from sunrise to sunset, were 12 hours, and the sun rises at 6 and approximately at least sets at 6 o'clock in the evening. So I'm going to change this sun to the first hour of sunlight during the day. So that's the first step, to change the time and set the date. And now we're going to actually create 12 suns basically and divide their exposure, so each contributes to the full normal sort of sun exposure. So here I've changed the multiplier. Usually it's set to 1 because you only have one sun, but because I'm having 12, I'll change it to 0.83. And that's the pretty much the hard part done. So then you just copy it as a copy, and I'll change this one to 7 AM and press OK. I've then got the 7 AM selected. If I go to the system, I can then, the motion tab, I can then change time, and you can see I've got the 2 and one's moved over to the new time slot. And I'll just show you again. 8 AM. Change the time, and there we go, we've got 3. So I might go ahead and do this. I'm going to do this 12 times till we get to 6. Okay, so now we have our 12 suns that all have a sort of low intensity value and all contributing to the sunlight in this scenario. So if we just look at it a bit realistic, it's not it's not too overexposed, and that's because we've reduced the modifier. You could do the same scenario at the winter solstice and summer. All you need to do is relook at how many sunlight hours there are. I'm sure summer would maybe have 14 hours of daylight, whereas winter might have only 10. So you need to then adjust the multiplier accordingly and change the dates and times as well. So that is the first stage, setting up the suns. Thank you.